welcoming Gary Oldman into the studio.
Hello.
Good morning.
Nice to see you again.
Very nice to see you. It's been an age since I've seen you.
Long time.
You're all mustachioed up.
Yes.
That's for Batman, presumably.
This is for Batman.
I
Yes,
see.
Commissioner Gordon. I returned to Gotham on Tuesday.
So a whirlwind. I mean, what a fantastic... You must be having the time of your life. Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy.
Yeah.
We were just talking while the record was playing. The reviews, they're off... I mean, just amazing.
It's off the charts.
Yeah.
And I've been in a few hits in my time and had some good reviews, but I have never seen anything quite like it. It is a tsunami of gush.
Which is brilliant.
Yes, they just...
And I suppose with films, how... because at least in a play, you've got that audience reaction, you know how it's going. But when you're making a film, do you have any inkling of whether it's going to be a stinker or whether it's going to be,
Well,
a hit?
no. The same effort goes into making a bad movie. You know, I mean, we're all there to make it good, and sometimes it's just not very good. But I think going in to this, we knew that we had something special with, first of all, the source material, the book, a wonderful adaptation by Peter Strawn, Bridget O'Connor, and then, of course, Thomas Alfredson. The cast is a sort of creme de la creme of British acting.
Because Thomas Alfredson the name didn't immediately ring a bell, and I looked him up. So he's let the right one in, which is a visually beautiful film, extraordinary film. And does he bring this? I mean, presumably he brings the same kind of visual thing to this.
Yes, he does. He's captured something here. He's captured that. I remember the 70s. It's damp tweed suits and dandruff and Brill cream and smoky orange rooms.
Chipped Formica. Yeah.
Chipped Formica. Yes.
Yeah. That was the 70s, wasn't it? Lots of Chipped Formica. And so here you are, you're playing George Smiley. When the call came, presumably your first thought was, well, I'm not old enough.
I'm not. Yes, I was mildly insulted when they called it. No, he's Thomas is consciously, he's cast younger. Across the board. My first thought was, you've got the ghost of Alec Guinness.
Of course, yeah.
And he had made the role so popular, and it was very much beloved, and so they were. That was the big shoes to step into, and fears of people sort of saying, who does he think he is, But you walk through that fire, and I at the end of the day, I approached it much the same way an actor would approach a classical part. There have been other Hamlets, other King Lears. This is a new, different interpretation.
And that's the other thing. It was a long time ago, and they don't show it very often.
No, they don't show it very often. It was 30 years ago. This is a movie. It was a television series. But you'll be surprised how often it comes up, and it is compared. And I was with a group of young journalists a couple of nights ago, and I said to them, they were talking about Tinker Tailor, the series, and I said, no one here is old enough to remember it. And you know what? They hadn't seen it.
Oh, they were just,
They're just picking it up from the press.
That's something to talk to you about, I suppose.
Yeah. I remember it,
And do you know what? I remember bits of it. I don't. Yeah. I think I didn't, because it was 7 hours.
Yes, it was 7 hours. It was the entire book, almost word for word. The book, yeah.
And so, in terms of condensing a 7 hour, a story that takes 7 hours to tell into a story that takes 2 hours to tell?
Yeah, 2 hours.
Does it? How do they do that?
I don't know how Peter has managed it. Really, he's made the impossible possible, and that you can still. It's quite a complex plot, but you can still follow it. I think what he's done is it's pushing things to the forefront. It is espionage, it's spies, it's the Cold War, but I think primarily why the book has had such longevity, it is about loyalty, betrayal, treason, Love Won, Love Lost. It's about people and emotions, and I think that's what that's what we're pushing.
And there's also something very, very British about it all.
It's quintessentially, yes, but it's less of a cosy British affair. It's not as nostalgic, I think, as the series was. Yeah.
Because John le Carré, he was involved in some sense in this film. He's in it, isn't he?
He's in it very briefly. Yeah, blink and you miss him. But he was there as a resource, and he gave it his blessing and said, Godspeed, and was there really as a resource if you needed him. Yeah,
because he's a really. I met him very briefly at a book thing last year. He's a very imposing figure still, isn't he?
Yeah, he's 80 this
Is he
year.
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And he's a 40-year-old, isn't he?
Yeah, he's unbowed by time. I can't believe he's 80.
Yeah, he's an amazing character.
No, because he strode out. It was Trafalgar Square. It was World Book Day, and people were reading it. So he was reading a bit from Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, and he just walked. And Trafalgar Square, it's quite a hard space.
Yes.
And he really, he's not a performer. But he totally held the crowd.
Yeah, he was there at the opening, at the premiere, in his tuxedo. He looked very sort of dashing and very sort of old world,
Graham Norton.
Well, Gary Oldman, not Gary Coleman. Gary Oldman. Did you hear that?
I did before I came on. Yeah, I think he's dead now.
No, he is. Yes, it was a very unlikely booking.
And I know you. And you said the word, didn't you? The M word.
What's the M word? What? Yeah. Can you not say that word?
I don't know if you can.
I won't say it again then. Listen, Tinker's in the name of your film. I didn't know, I didn't know we could say that on the BBC, but apparently we can. Yeah. Woohoo! Matt in Crystal Palace. Here's a question for you. Do you plan on directing again in the future?
Yes.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Because you did obviously famously Nil by Mouth,
Yeah.
huge hit.
Yeah.
Is that the only time you've directed, or have you directed other things?
I've directed sort of music videos and things, but that was the only feature. Yeah.
Well, given that it was such a huge success, it's sort of surprising you haven't done more.
Well, it just came. What followed. A bit of a domestic accident. A few hiccups along the way. I've been bringing up 2 kids, and the commitment to directing is. With something like an acting role, you can actually come in and you do it, and then you leave and you get back home. With a movie, when you're directing, it's 2-year commitment. It's a big thing, and I really wanted to be home with the boys.
Yeah.
And be a dad who was there rather than not there.
Brian in Birmingham writes, Gary does villains so well. Was it a break to play Harry Potter's uncle, where he turns out to be a goodie? I don't know where you're going to go with that question, but he emailed it in, so I read it out.
Yes, yeah, nice to play goodies. Of course, Jim Gordon followed with Batman as another good soul.
Yes,
and George Smiley, of course,
Are those Batman films as intense to make as they are to watch?
No.
Oh, good.
No,
so you do have a nice time on them.
Yeah, and Chris Nolan is. It's the days are not too long, and so no, it's all very nice, very civilized.
Oh, Lynn just says, "Good luck for an Oscar, Gary." And do you have a website?
Well, thank you, Lynn. No, I don't have a website. I am not a blogger, a tweeter, a Facebooker. None of that stuff. No.
I do a bit of the Facebook, but that's all.
Yeah, a bit of the Facebook. Yes. Do you know that there's... Well, the last time someone looked, there was like 127 people called Gary Oldman on Facebook.
And they're not, are they?
No. But I'm amazed that you're allowed to do that.
Oh, be somebody else?
Yeah, and be me, with pictures of me up there as me.
I got kicked off Facebook because they thought I was a fake.
Because
and then I logged on, and there were still people using my picture called Graham Norton.
Right.
I was like, no, it's me. Yeah.
Me.
I had to scan in my driver's license.
It's me.
Yeah. So desperate I was to be. I'm like, why would I bother?
Scan your driver's license.
Yeah, that's what I did. Oh, please say to Gary Oldman from me, a huge thanks for taking the time to come over to me at the premiere of Tinker Tailor, Soldier Spy. She didn't bother typing the rest of it, but I did. It made my day to get another photo with him. I was the girl with the curly hair and the huge Gary banner that I made. Do you remember Debbie Searle?
Yes, with the Gary banner.
Yes. It seems unlikely that people would make a Gary banner to go to the premiere of Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy.
But they do. It hasn't quite. It's the ring to it. It's not so a Gary banner doesn't.
It's lovely. Paul in Cardiff. Sensible question. You've worked with some of the all-time great directors. Is there anyone you'd still like to collaborate with? People often use the radio as a means of begging for jobs, but I guess you don't need to. You are fully employed.
I'm fully employed, but I guess Scorsese would be on the list. I would like to work with the Scots director Lynn Ramsey. Got a film. She's got a new film coming out. I think she's fabulous.
Graham Norton.
I think still, but not so much, but certainly formally, the whole idea of theatre and acting was quite a posh thing. It was quite a slightly effete thing. Yeah. How did you get involved?
I first worked with Greenwich Young People's Theatre. And then...
But why did you go along? That's what I kind of mean.
Why did I go along?
Yeah.
I was watching TV one night, and there was an old Brian Forbes movie with a very young Malcolm McDowell in it. I think the movie was called Raging Moon, and a light went on. But I that's what I want to do. I just sort of connected with Malcolm, I guess. I don't know, and I decided there that that's what I wanted to do.
Have you ever told him that?
Yeah, I got to meet him many years later, and he was a bit of a hero of mine. So I did tell him. Yeah.
And how quickly did you discover that actually you were right? That this is something you were good at?
Well, I got into drama school, although I did not get into RADA. RADA told me, they said some woman in a sort of a tweedy woman with a cigarette sort of said, well, think about something else to do for a living, lovey. So
I love it after all these years and all your success, that still rankers, doesn't it?
So I didn't make RADA, but I went to Rose Bruford, and they said, you might have a bit of talent for this. So,
and clearly they were right. And Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, it's out. It's got all these amazing reviews. You're going to have so many people coming up and go, "Oh, Gary, Oscar." How hard is it for you to keep a lid on your imagination and your kind of spinning this out to where it might go?
I go back on Tuesday to America. I get back to work, and I've got those two boys. So on the days that I am not Commissioner Gordon, I am up at 6, breakfast, driving to school. All that keeps you.
Yeah. That's going to keep you real.
Yeah, keeps you real.
Well, listen, I hope only good things happen. It's just an amazing response to a film. Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. It's on general release now in the UK. Thank you very much, Gary Oldman.
It's good to see you.
Graham Norton.